I don't want to talk about it.
Well,
Go ahead, discussion.
I'd like to make a motion to, for lack of better term, should I say, exchange power?
Transfer.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to transfer Lithonia Amphitheater management control back to the city of Lithonia.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
So this is, for better terms, that means we're creating a URA.
That will be up to, are we even ready for URA yet? It's not yet.
She's still working on the ordinance for attorneys, but you don't have to have it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, when would this be effective for?
Today's date. Any other discussion? You got anything, Councilman?
Nope, nothing at all. Did you tell LDDA?
Tell
Or just
LDDA what?
later?
I've talked
No
to
discussion.
Javon Green.
Yeah, 'cause
I did speak to him about it.
they're
been
ready to
months
give it
ago.
up. You know, they just tired of it.
That's what we
Too
talked
much the
about.
city undercut,
Mhm.
too much stuff going on with, management undercutting people. And
You said the city undercutting.
yeah, the volunteers. That's how I feel. And that's how they feel. Just, volunteers trying to do something, then the
Mhm.
city come underneath, kick it from under their feet. And I feel that they right.
That's
they deserve that.
different.
What?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
we do
Wait,
that.
what you?
Yeah, well, and that's the end of my discussion. So you go ahead and vote.
You said volunteers.
Who are you talking?
Everybody in LDD is a volunteer.
Oh, wow.
LDDA is not a volunteer.
Yeah, but they volunteer when you assign them to it.
They don't even come to the concerts. Well, I'm confused.
Why you have to
When
come
you
to
say volunteer, what are you saying? Volunteer at the amphitheater?
the people that you put on the committees to volunteer.
Okay,
volunteer.
the LDDA is feel like they're being undercut. Okay,
You
that's
can move on,
another
though. I don't
discussion.
want to discuss it anymore because it's
Okay.
old news.
I don't know what that
That's
means
new.
anyway.
It's
Okay.
new.
All right. Whenever y'all ready.
You did. I made a motion. We had a
Any
second.
other discussion?
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. You oppose, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got 4 and 1. You got that, Chief? All right. All right. Next up will be golf carts. It will be our Chief City Administrator. You ready? Okay.
So I'm gonna pass these around so you guys can have them. I know we talked about getting golf carts for the city, 1 or 2, using spot collars. There's several different variations. I'm just trying to get an idea of which way to go. I'm pretty knowledgeable with these golf carts. Used to live in the golf cart community,
Mm-hmm.
build them as a kid and everything. So
I like that.
you have the ones that I know we talked about like a 6-seater for the community events. And then we talked about one that had like a little bed on the back that even public work can use to, pick up trash. These aren't exact. These are just kind of examples. So just to give you kind of idea of price range of where I need to go when I'm asking for these quotes, I've been talking to 3 or 4 different vendors. They make what they call refurbished ones, which are like 2019, 2020. They come from the golf courses after they get used. They put everything brand new on them, and then they sell them. They're about half the price if you buy a 2024.
Mm-hmm.
A 2024 golf cart, like a 4-seater, runs you between $9,000 and $11,000. A refurbished one with brand new everything runs you about $6,200. Okay, that's just for a 4-seater. Now, 6-seaters, which we talk about, the big community events.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking anywhere between $9,000 and $10,000 for one of those. And then for the work one that has the dump bed on it, or it's not the dump bed, but the actual truck looking bed on the back, that's roughly between $7,000 and $9,000. If council sees fit and they want to just quote all brand new ones, by all means, that's fine. But really when it comes to the best bang for the buck, those refurbished ones are all just pretty much brand new. Yeah.
Do the refurbished ones come with warranties?
Free ones. I mean, they come with warranties because they're completely gone through the back. They come with headlights, taillights, all that.
Do they also come with service agreements?
there's really no service. I mean, they're more like if something breaks, because you know, you have the lithium battery ones, and you have like the regular 48-volt ones, which are 4 of the 12-volt batteries, or you have gas power. Of course, gas power is going to be more maintenance, cost gas. Plus, you know, a lot of times the gas power ones, you might have things go out in the motor or whatever. Your electric ones are more, honestly, with what we're doing, we're not using them every day. We're not, you know, driving them far. They're not like, you know, being used heavily. The battery power ones, chargeable ones are a better option.
Yeah, because you saving pollution to the gas.
The ones that you showed us, what are these, mostly electric?
Most are all electric. I think the only gas one is probably the work one right there.
This one?
Yeah, but
Okay.
they do have that one in the gas or electric. I mean.
Okay.
So, you know, just trying to get an idea of where council wants to go, because, you know, talking to everybody, it's kind of like, oh, what do you want to quote on? What do you know, I'm giving them all kinds of different options, but there's a million different variations we can go out there. I know one thing I think we agreed on was probably a 6-seater, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's for the city events, and then at least one of these dump beds. So if everybody, you know, wants electric, if you're fine with refurbished, by all means, I can easily get quotes easier. Because I am trying to get them multiple different places.
They last all day.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question about the dump bed one. I mean, we have pickup trucks for that, right? And I know we talked about, well, it'll be less wear and tear on the trucks, but that was the purpose of getting trucks, additional trucks, so that we can go around and pick up stuff. So wouldn't it be like duplicate to get?
I guess too, something to think about, like I'll use the rodeo for example. It'll be more efficient to have a golf cart picking up trash than a pickup truck.
But if you have
All
that,
through the event. Because they had their own
That's
driving through
what
there
it's all.
picking up trash.
okay, so why don't we just get the seater and then put a trailer on the back if you need to pick up something? That way you could use it for to pick up as well as if you feel like you need to get trash. Because I thought they could ride with that truck and pick up all the trash. That was the purpose of getting on the truck. How many trucks we have?
2 pickup.
Yeah, 2 pickup trucks to pick up trash and then to turn around and get another something to pick up some more trash.
I don't think he specifically wanted to use it to pick up trash. It's
Well, what would
probably
you
an
think?
example, right? You was using the
Thing like
trash.
that.
Yeah,
Do a
I
festival.
give them the pickup. Well, I mean, I was here, but I wouldn't.
Well, whatever you could use, I'm thinking whatever you could use that for, you probably could use the truck. That would just save, and that way we could use it for personnel, per people instead of having it just, because if you do the pickup one with the trailer, without the trailer, just to have the little cab on the back to pick up stuff, that's only a 2-seater, right? Right, so we could use it for an event and just, if we have to, put a trailer on the back.
They would do
Then
that.
we
I
need
would
to
check
go
going off what we talked about last time, so I guess
I would say keep it with the people.
And this comes out of Splash, right?
Comes out of Splash.
Thank you. Next up will be Sharp Copier Contract.
What are we currently paying per black and white and copy? And then color. Okay. 'Cause I was like, wow.
Okay, so our copy machine contract's up in November. So we've been currently meeting and talking with various vendors. We spoke with the vendor we purchased we got the last, or these ones we have now from. He's I guess you would call his own business, but he sells Sharp products. It's called Alpha Copy Solutions. So we got those Sharp copiers from him. It just so happened at the same time, Sharp corporate office reached out to us as well. So we ended up getting a quote from Mr. Sim Reed from Alpha Copy. We got a quote from actually Sharp corporate office. You also in your email have a quote from Reach Technologies, which is the Kia Sarah copy machine. And then the other one. Yeah, the other one is Sistel, which is the Ricoh, RICOH copy machine. They all pretty much do the same thing. We kind of, through all this, I found out that apparently our copy machines now do staple and folding. No one's ever told us that.
Wow.
I knew.
As long as I've been dealing with the sales guy, he never once said that.
And folding.
It's an option on
Yeah, it's a finisher. So these ones that we got quotes on now, basic, just scan, copy, print, fax, wireless printing. So if you have your iPad in here, you can direct print to the copy or the print machine. Going through this, they're all kind of around the same price. I think if you look, everybody at about a 60-month term was anywhere between 220 and 260 for all of them, even the Kyocera's. The Sharp was 260.
202.
Yeah, 262. Then the Systel was, that one just came in today actually, was 256. So they're all roughly the same. Just, talking with them, Sharp, the corporate office, we got a lot faster response out of them. They sent out 3 people here to look at everything. They even met with our IT and did a whole meeting with them. My issue is, and I'm going to recommend the Sharp corporate one, and this is why. I know we purchased the Sharp ones from Alpha Copy Solutions before. Just figured out through doing all this investigation, this one that we have down here, we purchased it outright. So we bought it 100% outright. We've been paying every single month for a service contract on something that we own that we don't have to pay for.
How much was
Unless you need service.
But you still have to pay for it.
it? How much was
It's
it?
still
Just
expensive to
curious.
service.
You have a contract for service and you
Not
still
yet.
pay for.
So, and then we also pay per print too on a machine that we own outright.
Oh, no.
And the Sharp, the most expensive on the paper print, it's 12 cents in it.
I think it's 12 cents
And
and
the rest on
7
it,
cents.
the other ones was a little cheaper.
Systel, I think, was 13.
I thought one of them was like 10 cents.
Wow.
I might be wrong.
I mean,
don't have
but
it.
so here's the thing.
Is that
So
expensive?
the one that was 10
Take it
cents
home print?
was probably Alpha, but you still have a base pay. So which means base pay means at minimum, we're paying $50. Okay, no matter if we print 100 copies, no matter if we print 1,000 copies. See, with Sharp Corporate, you don't have no base. You just pay for what you print. So if we print 100 one month, we're just paying for 100. If we print 1,000 next month, we pay for 1,000.
So will they reimburse us for that?
Thank
Like,
you. No, should be an incentive.
That was a contract that was done 6 years ago.
Um,
I mean, I'm kind of, if I wouldn't ask the question, it would have never been done.
But it's still, you should ask another question, the fact that we've been overlapping payment, that we could be at least credited if we're going back with them.
We're not going back.
That's corporate Sharp, we're
Yeah,
not going back with
yeah.
them?
That's Alpha Copy Solutions is who we got these with. They're sharp printers, but we purchased them through the third party Alpha Copy Solutions. Sharp Corporate came and just so happened to reach out to us at the same time, and basically said, hey, we see your contract coming up, this and that, we'd like to put it in bid. So, like I said, it's just discussion. You're more than welcome to look through them over the next week or two, ask any questions. I can find anything else out. The Sharp Corporate to me is the better of them all. We're not paying no base fee. Plus you get, I'm just saying, you get sharp technicians that come out. Their response time is they have to respond within 4 hours if we have something. We have machines that go down now and we get the response next day. So decision.
and that's just leasing,
Yes, they're all.
lease option.
You looking at the 262.02 a month? Is that the one I'm looking at?
So right now we pay $450 a month and we only have 2 machines. And this is 262. This is for 3 machines.
And you pay for what you use.
So right now, to give you an idea, we pay 3 different invoices a month for our printers, we pay the $450 for the machines, we pay roughly $221 to $250 for our prints on the 2 machines, and then we pay another $80 to Alpha for that machine.
For the contract.
Do you also have a desktop in there? Like a non-network type desktop? Like a regular printer on a desktop? So I guess my question is, we have to print our official documents on that one, but non-official stuff that we can save money on since we have a Staples account. Do we not have a desktop where we can print non-official stuff
That's the
and
way
what
it
we
should have been
charge?
with that one. 'Cause
Okay.
that one we own outright. So like the question I asked, why would I pay a third party for a service contract when I can just go to Staples and get my?
Yeah, that was my question when we first started.
Whose idea was that?
Well, which one we need high printing on, like that? Cause like you say, a small
Wait,
one.
I'm sorry, what's the difference between official and unofficial?
Like, say you was just printing something that you wasn't giving some citizens or patrons. Just you wanted to print something else.
It looks big because
It's
it's sitting.
But I guess I'm trying to understand, is it because it's going through a network and people can catch it? Is that what you're saying? Even though it's going to a print?
There's one there, one there.
Really cute stuff.
Oh, okay. I didn't know people could enter
All
stuff.
of these governments have contracts.
So
Okay.
just something to think about. Send me any questions you got. I'll answer whatever questions. Just look it over. Try to come back next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up will be the dog park. Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah. So thank you for this again. The dog park is something that is very important. I know we talked about the location being on Johnson Street where we own that land, that little open corner between, I want to say, Council and Johnson. There is another area that is on Magnolia I looked at, and it's actually connecting to the trail, the path. Not exactly, but it's like, okay, it's between 2 homes. One, your uncle, right? I think he's working on that home. And it's like from there to your right, I think it's one more home, and then it's an empty land lot. That could potentially be a dog park too.
We own it.
That part I don't know. I didn't have time to look at and see. But it's literally just land there. So I don't know if Chief, you're able to look into that area. But
Where's in that relation to the new homes you built?
it's like 2 lots down. If you go to the right of that home, if you're facing it, go 2 lots down, and it should be like an empty land lot there. And it literally goes, you can see it facing the park trail.
What street is that?
That's on Magnolia Street. Mhm. But of course, we still have that corner lot on Johnson and Council. Yeah. And they both can still, I think, connect, as we talked about, to the path trail. So either one would be a good option. Yeah.
I gotta go eyeball it.
Yeah, did you say you the pay for it was last hour?
What, the dog park? I would have to check with Chief to see.
Yep. Mhm.
Is it big? How big is the lot?
It's nice size.
Yeah.
I went to one yesterday. They had a big dog and a little dog.
Yeah, that's the goal.
So it's big enough for that.
I think so, but it might have to go vertical versus like horizontal.
I like that corner lot.
Yeah, I
But I
think that,
haven't
yeah.
seen the other one though.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring up both of them, because I think depending on whoever does the work, and also like as far as getting off the trail, what's more accessible. So I don't know if you wanted to add anything.
I do, I was just saying that when I think about, all of those areas are absolutely usable, but the other is, there's a definition for a dog park, there's a definition for an off-leash area. And I think that there's an amount of acreage that you take into account, so you might want to refer to it as an off-leash area, which just means that where things normally happen, like say that block or trail types would run by, there would be an area, nice fence, where if you're constantly in there talking to a neighbor, watching passerbyers, reading the board and see what's going on in the neighborhood. It's just somewhere to let a puppy out and run around. It may not be where trees, benches, and all the best friends down there is the fun spot. Because you need a little more room to have a dog park.
Okay, so I didn't.
Area,
Yeah.
it's still good and it's close to what you see in like a hotel. It's not a 4 acres. But
Yeah.
still just let it off for a minute.
I'm glad you said that. So I didn't know there was like a minimum amount of land. I thought it was based on the city and whatever. We decide.
They allow them in that, but then there still is a calculation firms use, because it lets you know about how much land, because you got drainage and waste and water runoff, so you kind of want to know that.
Now, see, I've seen some dog parks where they don't have water accessibility. It's just literally just land. So, I mean, that's a good point that you made too. Like, are we thinking of setting up utilities where like water spouts are there for the dogs, little fountains? And how big are we going to go? Or is it just going to be like your basic, so that's a good question too. And I mean, is it worth, like, I don't know how much it will cost, but it could be worth the money to put into it because that's going to enhance our city too. The value around that. I mean, dog parks are huge, y'all. Like, people will literally visit other cities just to go to the dog parks. I'm one of them.
I was gonna say that's exactly what's happening. We don't want that to happen.
Exactly.
Because we're developing it, so we want to have things here for all of these new people that are coming to our city.
Right. So since you brought those great points, maybe we should just focus on that corner lot, because it's bigger.
I've seen where they have like the little tub thing with the water in it, and you can actually pay to give them a little bath right there, but that would call for a drainage, and that might be the next step. But otherwise, would they come with the dog, and if the dog poop or whatever, they just scoop it up in a bag?
Yeah.
So if we didn't have anything but benches or whatever, it could still work with the bags? You think?
We have to provide them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
An apparatus that they can grab a bag.
like they got at the park. Right
Yeah,
there.
they have some connected already to the path trail as well. But I mean, someone has to refill it. We need some bags in there.
I
But
thought they was responsible for y'all own bags.
I mean, it's still something you want to provide, But yes, they are responsible for picking it up.
What do they run out? Then who you got to continue? And
Hmm.
how often?
We refill the bags per our MS4.
MS4.
Yeah, it's our reporting for us.
Okay, yeah, I'll let y'all handle that. I don't know how that works. But one other thing, Councilwoman Nguyen, she mentioned your cousin or your uncle that does,
About what?
that does the cobblestone. It was your cousin?
Mhm.
Okay, so it would be really nice to kind of incorporate like some kind of nice landscaping where people can kind of, like, I don't know if you ever, I know you've been because I seen you there. The city of Conyers, they have a really nice little water pond and they have nice place to sit and there's a pavilion and everything. So it would be nice to kind of incorporate, like, in addition to the dog park, like somewhere where people can just sit and chill. And maybe we have like, if we're gonna use water, why not go extra step and put like a small little man-made pond, and then an area where for them to sit, like with the granite or cobblestone incorporated into all of that.
He does do fountains.
Okay. So if we are all on one accord, maybe we should start looking to like the costs for, these things.
And you gotta remember, there are people that do this for a living,
That's true.
who can give you insight in, how
Mhm.
it can be cost effective to the city, for the city.
Sounds good.
Anything else? Good.
I guess, I mean, I know it's not an action item, but Chief, would you mind pioneering this as far as quotes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have it on the radar too, because remember we have that agreement with the county. That we have to do with green space, parks.
Okay.
I have one other suggestion. If we can link it with a dog park. At Bruce Street Park, where we had that stream, where we had the problem with the beaver, that water, it just screws over, just comes over and just saturates that area. That can almost be a park where folks could sit around and maybe have dogs. If we were able to have that stream, put some stones along to have that stream to stay in its place and not pour over into the other area and make it saturated. You know, it needs to be defined where you know what I'm talking about? Because it's just when the water, it's just all over the place. So if we could have some stones or something and have the water to stay and flow that way and not be all over that area, that's a place where folks can sit down. You can have a dog as long as you pick your poop up.
But you know, that stream has never been that high before, and I had spoken to Chief, and I was telling him the water was still high, and I didn't understand it because it usually is a low, very close to the ground.
If there was if it was able to be redirected into the stream, like a little slant into the stream, and have stones so they stay in the stream, and then this part possibly can stay dry. Of course, you have some architect that have to come out and look at it, but to keep it dry, that way it'll be usable. Because right now you can't use it because when it rains, it saturates the whole area, and you just got slush. But
That could be definitely like a beautification piece.
yeah, since we talk about green space, that would be something to fix that area up.
Yeah, because we stopped doing the Easter egg hunt in that space because the ground was so saturated. So
Right.
we have to do Easter egg hunt on the other side, which, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. Because but you can't use it right now, like you said, you can't even use it, especially if it rains. And then if that ground is so saturated, then you have a tendency for those trees to topple over because there's nothing holding them. Thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, moving forward to our last discussion will be upcoming events. Ms. Renee Miller.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just wanted to take an opportunity to share with you all some information that has been brought to my attention as it relates to Miss Massey's memorial, which is set for October the 13th at the amphitheater. And in speaking with Ms. Sears and the planning processes that they're looking at, they did have some asks that I'm just simply coming to council to share the information as it was shared with me. On the 13th, the event is identified, or I should say the memorial is identified at the amphitheater from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. The family is asking for support with respect to 200 chairs, a beverage service that could include bottled water and lemonade, AV equipment, and a podium. I did let them know that I was not, of course, in a position to make the decision, but that I would have to come to council in order to see what would be available for the family on the basis of their asks.
Any comment?
We got it in the budget. I don't.
When you say they're asking for beverage and AV, like how does that typically work if just a random person was using, like would that be by, like you just hiring?
They would hire. So she said for beverage service, just bottled water and maybe the bottled lemonade or tea, individual serve just for easier cleanup as opposed to pouring and having people go. But I think one of the concerns was the 200 chairs, depending upon where we have to rent the chairs. Chairs normally rent for about $1.25, $1.75 per chair, depending upon the space.
Would that be considered a community event? We have budget for a community event because it's open to the public for everybody in the community, right?
Yeah, but we got other things.
Then we got a relationship with Salt and Pepper, right? For AV.
For the AV, and they don't want anything grandiose. I mean, Ms. Sears was very humble in identifying she's not looking for anything that's grandiose, but of course we do want for whatever AV system is being implemented for whoever is speaking to be heard, and it's not crackling and things of that nature. So I think for us, of course, with the amphitheater, the only thing we have is the power. So they would basically have to import anything. But with a modest size group of 200 people, they wouldn't have to like fly speakers. The speakers could stand on the stage, which that's cost effective within itself. And then a microphone and whatever podium may be available at that point in time.
Is it
It's a Sunday.
Is it okay by council, of course, to see if she can get the quotes for all this that they're asking for, just to see
Yeah.
if it is in our budget? Because I can't tell you if that's in our budget. The 200 chairs, are they trying to put the 200 chairs right there in front of the stage in that area? Is that
That is what
200
they'd like
chairs?
to do. I did ask if they wanted to consider the fixed seating, but they are concerned about some people who may be elderly and having to go up and down the stairs in order to sit down. So they do want to have the seating at the floor or on the base of the amphitheater's area. And of course, we also have to work into the budget on the basis of someone to actually do it, to have a staff there in order to actually put the chairs out. Typically, when you rent chairs, like I have some chairs, but I don't have 200. So I don't have an issue if they use some of the chairs, but I don't have 200. But if you rent chairs, this is a Sunday event. Those chairs would come to us Friday or Saturday, which means we have to store them and then have someone put them out. It's not like they're gonna pull up Sunday and just have the chairs for us.
So I guess one of my questions is, take into account that you do have able-bodied people that are able to sit in our stadium type seating. Yeah, would it be okay to go back and ask, can we minimize that 200 chairs on the ground, and those that are able to sit in the stadium seating, utilize that?
I did ask during the course of time, but I'm happy to go back, and I did suggest, are you sure you don't want to utilize the fixed seating? And it was identified no, but I'm happy to go back and ask again.
I just feel like 200 chairs in that space, like Mel was trying to say.
That's tight.
It's gonna be really
Very
tight. Yes.
And then
And it's
even
still
with the
COVID.
AV system, even if it's not, loud,
Mhm.
it will project, and it can be a little alarming if you're sitting there, if you're sitting in a close proximity. So we'll go back and ask, and I'll give her a call tomorrow. And as I get the information, is it okay for me to just email it over to Ashley, Ms. Waters, and then she can get it to you guys
Yeah.
as it relates? Okay.
Yeah.
Renee, she did mention tables too, so that would kind of eliminate that too. She didn't mention that?
Well,
Maybe not
only
to
for
you,
the beverage service.
Okay.
Because the structure that she identified is that she wanted the chairs set up, like in a church or in an auditorium. And then as people are leaving, they can stop by and get a bottle of water or lemonade or whatever that beverage is at that point in time. And that could kind of minimize the cleanup. But, we do have some tables that are available. But I just know that 200 chairs is going to be tight.
Excessive. I would suggest that we go with what we can provide at least, if not no cost to us, a minimum cost to us.
Okay.
That would be my suggestion, because we also have other folks, and I understand Ms. Massey provided, a lot of public works in the city. But at the same time, we may have other people to come behind and need the same. So we would have to, be mindful that what we do for one, we may be asked to do for another. So I would suggest that we keep it at a minimum at all costs.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes.
Are we giving that space, or are they paying for that space
I'm assuming it would be.
that we're giving? Okay, because I didn't know they were asking for that in addition to these other items.
I think the space itself was understood that it would be provided for them. Because at that point in time, she said, we're going to utilize the space, and these are the things that I would like to get.
Oh, so she just pre-knew. That's what.
How was that understood? Who
that's
suggested
how I
that
assume it.
the space would be?
Ms. Sears made the suggestion during the course of time that we.
Ms. Sears?
I don't know.
She suggested that we were going to give her the space.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I don't have an issue, but it wasn't clear, and that's why I wanted to make sure, okay, I don't know how this goes, so forgive me if I put it out like this. Most memorials, I know it's based on people's how they want to do things, but did they give a reason why they wanted the amphitheater for this? Like, just curious, as opposed to like another space.
I would have to assume just on the basis of family history. Is what I would assume, family history and lineage.
To Lithonia.
To Lithonia, for it previously being identified as the Stewart Amphitheater, and if I recall correctly, that is part of Ms. Massey's family.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
said the what is part of it? The what?
It was at one point in time
Really?
was the Stewart Amphitheater.
Oh,
And so there's, there's a personal connection there.
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me Google, do my homework.
And there's a big,
It's a big plaque.
no, yeah, it's a
On the
big
side,
plaque.
there's a plaque.
And in the
That
middle,
says-
inside.
But something is telling me that her family donated that to like the city.
What, the amphitheater?
Yes.
Wow. So this whole time I never knew that. Like,
I didn't
that
either.
is crazy. So now it all makes sense now.
Yeah,
That's
now
why you
it
gotta
makes
ask
sense.
questions. Because I'm like, why would someone want that at a memorial at a yeah. Okay. But okay, so yeah, so I guess our game plan is just to get quotes, right? And then we can figure out from there.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, so I'll go ahead and get that over to Ms. Waters, and we can go from there as it relates to that. The only other two events that I've had were the trunk or treat as well as Jingle on Main. So in order to help us be prepared as it relates to Jingle on Main, it's the first Saturday in December, if I recall correctly. Is it December the 7th? Is that the correct date? I want to
so.
say that's what we
For-
shared
I
with
think
me.
that's.
For the parade and festival, for tree
Yes,
lighting?
that's
Yes.
correct. Mhm.
Okay, so we are already starting to work with some of the schools and other community organizations to see about getting them to be part of the parade. I think getting that information out to them now will give us a better jump on being able to have great participation. Councilman Honore, I would like to chat with you at some point about perhaps the Eagle Scouts being able to be part of the parade as well. Same thing with trunk or treat. However, we want to identify those area businesses to help us with help us with the event. I'm happy to get that information out just on the basis of some things that you all may have done in past years. So we just want to make sure that of course is on October 31st on the actual date. The one suggestion that I would make, if we're going to keep those dates moving forward, is that we may want to consider a generic banner that can just go up annually. That one banner, one side says, trunk or treat, and the other side says first Saturday in December, Jingle on Main. It can be displayed, people will know, and that of course helps us with that foot traffic. I did speak to Ms. Waters with respect to banner and flyer possibilities, and just to say, if it is something that's going to be displayed, to consider a lighter background, just so that it is easily visual to people as they're passing by. So as I get more information with respect to both of those events, I'll be happy to share them with you, okay?
All right. You said something about trunk or treat. Come up for me, please.
All right, so I'll get it back myself out of my pocket because I want to say.
Thank you.
The suggestion, also, when we do this trunk or treat from here on out, let's have a table set up. Each card has a number. Let's give out a card to each person. Because last year I had kids coming up 4-5 times for candy. By the time those kids come, I run out.
Yeah.
So let's print up some cards. Yeah, call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just check them out so that kid ain't coming back and getting candy. By the time this kid's come, we don't have anything. All right, so let's do that. So this is
Let's see.
we ain't got no rolling already.
Well, so nice.
Yeah, I like that.
I ain't putting another.
He done did his part.
I was also thinking about,
Thank you.
Very much.
yeah, that's very nice.
Just left you hanging.
Would you,
With you all, I appreciate you all's time.
All right, thank
Do you have
you.
any questions about anything that was shared? Okay, all right.
Good job on the past concert last Sunday. Thank you.
Oh, no problem, thank you.
All right. Any need for executive session, council?
I'd like to talk to you, after the meeting, if you don't mind, get some more information for myself. Okay.
Do we need
Me?
executive session? Can we, I know, I'm trying to read. Okay, do we need to follow up?
That's up to y'all.
What's that?
We follow up from last. That's on you. So y'all wanna give it a little time?
I mean, I can tell you.
Okay.
It's only two things, right?
Yeah,
Okay, well, we'll be in
Okay.
and out of
Yeah.
the yes.
Okay,
executive
so-
session.
Uh-huh.
So we do have a meeting for it.
Oh, this up to y'all, because I can say it publicly.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I kind of got an update, so,
Oh,
yeah, I think whatever you say is probably the
Well, you
same.
can say it publicly, let's do it.
do y'all want to say it publicly or? Because it's really not that.
You like
To just follow up on.
Are we following up?
Okay, so your follow-up is, you ready?
Yes.
There's a situation you all brought to my attention regarding GCIC.
Mhm.
Spoke to her last week.
Mhm.
Doesn't need a break. That's just how she speaks.
I'm so lost already. What's GCIC again?
I'm not trying to say the name. You know, the right here at the window.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that one, that's a
Yeah.
different
I
one.
bet.
It was two.
Okay.
It was her. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I
So
see the list.
she's fine. She just said that's the complaint. She apologized. She wasn't aware. I did advise about your encounters or whatever, and she didn't know who you was.
That's not an
Because her,
excuse.
she
That's not an
said, she
excuse.
said that when you went this way, that's all she saw. She didn't see a person.
That's not an
It don't
excuse.
matter.
I'm just giving you what she gave
How
me.
can we help? How can we?
I asked that
I'll go
question.
into deep.
How
We're
can
gonna have
we
to go
help?
into
I asked
executive.
that question. She did, from my understanding, customer service already.
Okay.
This was maybe a month ago. I have to ask Chief, but he did send her to classes for that.
Okay.
But everyone, not everyone is saying, but some people say that she's stern. Her words is just, I'm just
That's
giving you the
all putting
information.
cake on top of
People
a.
start complaining about you.
That's
Okay,
what
so I think if
it's
we're gonna
different.
continue, if we need to do that, we need to go ahead into executive session.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
that's up to y'all.
I motion to go into executive session.
But is it on personnel, real estate? or
personnel.
Personnel and real estate.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
All right.
All right.
You said, can you
Done
go?
it.
You're free to go.
I need a motion to go in executive session.
I motion to go to executive session for personnel.
Second.
And what else?
Personnel and real estate.
Okay, is there a second? Any discussion?
Wait, I got one discussion. I didn't know, Javon, do you want?
Not something that was on the agenda, now I can't really, I didn't know if we were.
I asked
No, they
to
just
see
came
if
to, yeah.
you needed to put some on the agenda.
No, it's just, they were just coming visit. So we
Oh.
got all the business owners to come in. You
Mhm.
see, Yellow Brick House, Black Dove, Green Love.
Yes.
So he's trying to make them, but they were
Okay.
requested to start coming to the meetings. you know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice
So,
to
like,
see y'all.
Nice to see you all.
So the DBA is just trying to be a little bit more visual and go out in the community and tell the businesses to come to the council meeting as well as the DBA meeting, because it's important that we get involved. A lot of times we complain, but we don't do nothing about it, we don't show up to listen to as decisions are being made, so this is just us.
Yeah. Let me get this motion together first.
good
Um,
food,
Can
All
I
in-
take it off?
all in
until we
favor?
do-
Yeah, wait till- yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you.
No, you could say.
Come
Yeah, we are, but
real
you,
quick.
Yeah, so once again, as the Downtown Development Authority, we feel like we're being underutilized.
Mhm.
And a lot of times it's because there's little to no communication between the organizations.
Mhm.
And not saying you guys aren't working and you guys aren't busy, it's just that we wanted to take the initiative to come out to the meeting. I know
Thank
in
you.
the past, we've had like mixers and things like that, that was informal, but we thought it was important to kind of to start coming to the meeting and getting more involved. Just to see what you guys are doing and see how we can support, but not only our two organizations, but the housing authority is just as important
Mhm.
piece to making sure Lithonia grows the way that it should, right? A lot of times businesses come to the DDA meeting, for example, Juju, from right across the street, he came into the DDA meeting and his complaints wasn't really something that we could address, so it's always that kind of a thing where it's like, okay, we can have a meeting with all the businesses and we can do a little informal thing. And then, a whole month passes before we actually get to, have our official meetings and get things done. So we just said, hey, let's just come, let's just bring it right on. So I have Maxine with us and other business owners, flavors,
Straight and Natural, who's been here for close to
Yellow Brick House.
So, yeah, we went door to door, Honore and Maxine went door to door, handing out cards about coming to this meeting specifically.
Thank you.
So, I mean, it was effective a little bit.
That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, but this is just like I said, we want to make sure that there's that constant communication with us. I know in the past, the clerk sometimes would email us. We don't get any emails about anything anymore. The amphitheater was something that was a big agenda for us, but obviously you guys were working together to beautify and empower the city to do better things. Like, we've been here for years and it seems like there's nothing really changing, even though we know change is slow. You know what I mean? But it's just like little things that I think we could do better job at, and communication is one of them.
Gotcha. So while you up here, can you give us an update regarding the LDDA? What's up next? What y'all doing?
Absolutely. So I know we're coming at the end of the year, and there's some beautification projects I want to actually establish. I know we spoke about those planters in downtown Lithonia. There's also we need to pretty much figure out this historic preservation piece again. But before we can do that, there's an event that I wanted all of us to attend. It's the Urban Trends. Let's see, and I was going to Urban Design Plan, and it's like a 3-hour class. And I want to say Georgia Municipal GMA is hosting it. So I think that's a good start, so we can get some motivation and inspiration in terms of how we could turn the city, as well as finding potential sources of funds and resources that we can utilize. So I think that's something that I think is a good start for us that we're looking to go to, and we wanted to see if you guys would come with us out there.
Okay.
And then from there, we could kind of like work together hand in hand to make things happen. You know, a lot of times we complain like, hey, the taxes went up, but you know, what else has changed, you know, and things of that nature. But we're not in control of that. We don't need to control what's in our wheelhouse, and communication is something simple but effective.
Yeah. Make sure you take some Lithonia lookbooks as
Put
well.
some in the restaurant.
Okay,
People
yeah.
are taking, I think I need some more.
Okay, sounds good. But yeah, hopefully once we evolve even more, that's a good medium for communication between us and the whole community, you know, because like we talked about before, it's a need.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
We're hoping to strengthen that.
No, absolutely. And a lot of times it feels like it's always like when we show up, it's a problem, you know, but everything doesn't have to be a problem. You have to, you know, we come in peace. We want to work together because we invest in our business. We're here more times, you know, than we are in our own home because our businesses are here. So, you know, like we want to see change. We want to see this. When we volunteer, the DDA, we don't get paid to sit on these boards. And yeah, let's just try to make moves together. Anyone else wants to add anything?
I didn't know that the NBA concept was not making you the answer, because that just went by my head, but I gave you the data.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you.
Question.
Yes.
Did you get this link to your phone? I sent it to all of you, but I don't know if you got it. I'm gonna send it to you. I want you to look into this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that Georgia Main Street thingamajig.
Okay.
I need some help.
You know, I got you.
Thank you.
Like I said, I would love to, and at the end of the day, it's like, I know we're doing the best we can, you know, with what we have, but I think, like I said, just as boards, as individuals, servants of the city, let's just find ways to bridge these gaps instead of communication.
Okay.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Before we go, our partner, Ravonda, do you have anything for us? Okay.
You said something at the end that made me terribly grateful. The Main Street Initiative,
Mhm.
we've got 62 national heritage areas across the country, and almost all of those are main streets. And so that initiative that gets vendors and retailers what they need, it is major. So the Alliance will jump on board with you instantly.
Thank you.
And there are other communities across Georgia that already have it. And Georgia has to have a qualifying Main Street association. It does as a state. So linking onto it is going to be easy. You won't have to reinvent the wheel.
Thank
But
you.
anything we can do to help drive economics for retail.
Thank
we're
you.
willing to do. So that was my 2 cents.
Thank you. I
Thank
appreciate that. Real quick, do we have an update for the parking lot? Anything yet?
So we should go into escrow on the one here.
Which building?
That's the one.
Swift Street.
So
The post
the goal
office?
is,
Oh, the Oak Street.
it's been a long process. The big thing is motivating us with the title search, the title company. So the attorneys will work on that. But, you know, I was told a week ago, which will be an escrow, if any of us want to get in the next month. We should have a closing date by the end of October.
Okay.
So that'll be, that's the building, Robert, Mary.
Right. Okay.
So,
This first of all, I know that it's terrible.
so that'll be.
Yep. Okay. All right. That's what I needed to hear. Thank you. All right. We are headed for executive session. Business owners, thank y'all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey.